Good morning. It's 6:30 on Wednesday the 14th. That's blue sky. It's probably not going to last, but I'll take it. This is a tent pad that we were set up on. It rained like cats and dogs again, but we stayed relatively dry. Everything is wet, but that's the way it is. More tents came in last night. I don't know if you can see them. Kids are eating breakfast. Full house in the shelter. And there is a beautiful waterfall. So we got to listen to that all night. It was awesome. Not gonna lie, I had myself a big cry this morning about all the struggles. Hopefully today will be a good day. It's 7:30 and we're leaving camp. Wednesday. And the sun, I already told them that part, I think.
July 14th.
The sun is shining. I am so grateful that the sun is shining. After my little morning cone part, I've been trying to work really hard on attitude. Yeah, attitude doesn't change this, but oh well. We're gonna go to a stealth site called Bully Brook. It's about 15.5 miles. And I think it's going to be pretty much mud the whole way, but we'll do our best to keep our sense of humor. How are you doing back there, bud?
I'm better than yesterday, which wouldn't take much.
Yeah, well, I have to figure out if I'm going right up the middle or what. 15 miles in wet shoes is going to suck. This is Griffith Lake, I think, because we're pretty close to the campsite that we were going to go to. Sorry if the color's all screwed up because my phone's wet. Shocking. Okay, so I might have lied. This is Griffith Lake. There's campsites here somewhere. Is that a rock or a tent?
Across the lake?
Yeah.
That's a rock.
Okay, that's a rock.
Boulder.
Apparently, when we get to the campsite, if we ever get there, because I keep stopping, you can see the sunrise. And maybe today you could have actually seen a sunrise. We're both like so excited about sun. Rich wants to check the weather when we get signal. I told him he was just being a big buzzkill because I kind of wanted to just take the Scarlet and think about it tomorrow, i.e. when it rains. But yeah, I'm babbling. I'm just so happy to have sun. We are about 2.5 miles in. It has not rained for the whole 2.5 miles. And this is starting to actually look like a real trail. We know it won't last. Yeah, get your hopes up. Any Cleveland Browns fans will understand that. But it's not been nearly as bad as yesterday as far as finding your way around the really bad spots. And we have, like I said, hit some places where you can almost walk normally, which is such a relief. We are pretty dried out, starting to sweat, but I'll take it. And we're going to stop at Lost Pond in about 1.5 miles. So I better put this away because we'll end up face planting. Okay, this is a test. I'm going to pass it.
What?
What's your trail name?
Medicine Man.
Medicine Man.
Yeah.
Medicine Man and? Loco, our first Sobos. Yeah. Yeah, they've been embracing the suck in New Hampshire.
Yeah, we have.
We had like no views except for on Franconia Ridge and about a clear day.
That's supposed to be like one of the other things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was a decent view, but it was still like in and out of the clouds.
Wow. Well, we actually have a view up here, kids. It's been a minute, but we got one. But I got to get up here without dying first. Well, I've made it this far anyway. It takes some thinking on the part of the one-handed bandit. You know, I guess I'll get better at it. We're not done. We still have to go up this one. But then I think we're pretty much at the top. I need to find out when and if I can at least just stabilize with my right hand, because right now I'm doing virtually nothing with my right hand. It's just a dead appendage. And if I could at least just stabilize myself, that would give me a lot more options. But it appears that we were on top. So go me, I made it. What is this peak? Big Peak. Big Peak with view. I'll put it in the video. Well, I could stay on this for like the next 6 miles and it wouldn't hurt my feelings. There's some nice water. We are about 2/10 of a mile from Lost Pond Shelter. We just sort of came up on that gravel path and I was just like, yeah, more please. Water everywhere. Almost there.
We are?
Yeah, we're like 2/10.
Okay.
We are back on trail after stopping at Little Pond Shelter. The shelter's real small. There's no picnic table. There is some pretty decent tenting. Water's easy. It's close to the trail. So I'm glad we stopped where we did, because if we'd have gone on to that, we'd have had to go over Baxter Peak, and that would have just, no. I was not ready to do that yesterday afternoon. We are probably going to stop again in a parking lot if the weather's good, and have some lunch and maybe try to dry a few things out that are in our packs, like the tent, sleeping pad, stuff like that. We are on Vermont time, which basically means 15 miles takes as long as 20 at least. We have no preconceived notions that we're going to beat the rain. It will probably rain on us at some point today, but we have really been enjoying this better weather and actually seeing the sun occasionally. Lots of long trail people, met more Sobos. There's just a lot of people on trail. It's going to be this way until the long trail and the AT split. So that's another reason not to get into any tenting area too late, or it's full. I mean, our shelter last night was busting at the seams and there were extra tents. It's beautiful. You just can't get in a hurry. We are on a pretty decent trail. We're going to pass Big Branch Shelter. We're about 1.5 miles from USF 10, which is where, if we decide we want to dry stuff out, we'll stop. We're walking alongside a really nice river. Sounds great. But the trail, you know, it'll still turn on us and be nasty, but we've had some almost decent trail for a little minute. It's so nice when you can just walk, because it's been a long time. See if you can see that when we get over here. I don't know if you can. You really can't. It's through the rocks. But it's a big old river. Now you can see it a whole lot better. I don't know what this looks like normally, but that's flowing strong. Oh, we got a bridge we're going to go across, so you can see that. Yeah, it's not like it rained at all, like Rich said. Be careful. At least I can hold the camera in this hand and it doesn't bother it anymore. That's been a nice development. Here's our bridge. Wow. Well, something. Check it out. Awesome. This may be the bridge people said there were hornets on it, so I'm gonna keep going. Big Branch Shelter. It's literally right on the trail. So if you want to stop here, that's what it looks like. We just stopped and had a lunch break and dried some stuff out at the parking lot at USFS 10. And now we're about to climb White Rock Mountain, which is a big up and about 5.6 miles. Oh my word. This is Little Rock Pond, and it is breathtaking. Oh, I wish we had more time. It's stunning. Well, we are 4 miles on the nose from the shelter. Have to climb about 1,100 feet, go down about 9. And the thunder has started. The forecast had called for a thunderstorm at 4. And we were thinking, gosh, we might get really close, maybe even get into the shelter area. But it looks like it's going to be an hour and a half early, which means there's no way. I mean, we're thankful for how much time we've had today, that it didn't rain. And if it really is just a thunderstorm, maybe it won't be so bad. But yeah, sounds like it's gonna be time to put on the raincoats again. Bummer. I have no idea what this is. It's just sort of a collection of stuff on a wall at the side of the trail. Yeah, there's no explanation that I can see. 3 o'clock and here comes the rain. So we are about 3 miles from the shelter. Wish us luck. We've arrived at the rock garden. After the rock garden in Massachusetts, I was terrified, but it really isn't anything like that. So it's in a beautiful forest and it's just a little pile of rocks. So we are, how far from the shelter? Can you tell? I would guess we're like 1.5 miles from the shelter. Still no rain, which is excellent. We're under a thunderstorm warning, but you know, maybe we'll make it. That would be awesome if we could get the tent set up before it rained. But get your hopes up, Cleveland Browns fans.
Well, here we sure have some pretty stuff. Nice woods here. My hiking buddy, she's down there. Today's been much better than yesterday. Yesterday was embrace the suck, never quit on a bad day. Shit fire. Anyway, that's it. I'm out.
This is the White Rocks recreation area. Lots of cairns, or cairns, depending on how you like to pronounce it. There is a view out there. I'm going to leave up to Rich as to whether or not we go because of the rain. Rich really wants to try to get the tent set up before the rain comes because we've just been so wet for so long. So we're going to pass on the view. Kind of sucks, but there'll be other views hopefully. Haven't been any lately much, but we got one today at that rocky peak in the very beginning. So we're not completely viewless. Greenwall shelter. First thing is it's not 0.2 miles to the shelter. It's at least 3. And it's not the easiest walk. Tent sites are a little hard to come by. We think we found a couple that Slow Jam Crawl and us can use that are kind of like down the hill. You can see the privy way up there. Not the privy. There's the privy. It has front porch, which is actually interesting. That's the shelter. And it didn't rain. I'm just completely amazed and so grateful that it didn't rain. But it might rain tonight, so we're going to get all our stuff set up. There's no bear box, so that sort of sucks. We'll have to find a bear hang. And tomorrow is supposed to be decent weather. But somebody said it's going to rain the day we go over Killington. Lovely. Good evening.
How's the song go with the sun will come out tomorrow or something?
Well, no, it came out today.
Well, I know, but I was going to kind of ad-lib that part.
Oh, okay. Well,
Anyway.
I blew that for you. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Well, we made it another day.
Yeah.
And,
Rocky start.
yeah, it was...
All my clothes were so freaking wet.
This morning was hard.
I mean, because of my raincoat wetting out, my shirt was wet. I was wet all the way down to my underwear.
Yeah, she didn't like that.
And I have like underwear to sleep in, but I couldn't wear them to hike because we thought it was going to rain again, which it actually ended up not doing.
She was really worried that she was going to be freezing cold
I
all
know.
day.
I was like, I'm going to get hypothermia because my raincoat is now worthless.
I told her that today was going to be warmer than last couple
And
days.
it ended up...
It's nice.
It ended up we sweat for the first time in a very long time. And it was really weird. I thought I had videoed a little thing after we put our raincoats on. We put our raincoats on. It like sprinkled for 5 minutes and then quit.
The thunder was impressive.
Yeah,
I mean,
we were just sure we were going to get
yeah,
drenched.
and she's like, I had my umbrella deployed, which looks, I know, probably rich, but she wanted to take it down. And I'm like, no, bad karma. If I take this umbrella down, it's going to rain. We got to leave it up.
So we left it up all the way to White Mountain Junction or whatever that was.
The trails were open, so it didn't bother me hiking with it. The way the shock cords hold it on there, it stays on pretty good. So
Yeah, but so some of the places we saw today were really nice.
Right. The view was pretty, for sure.
I mean, Baker Peak
Um,
was an educational experience for me. I really do need to be, as soon as I get done with this, I need to look ahead. And anytime there's something that may be above my skill set currently, if there's a bad weather trail or something, I need to at least consider it. And I just had no idea that this was even coming up until we were on it. But it worked out
yeah.
fine.
She's being a lot more careful with her right hand now that she knows it's actually a little bit broken.
A little bit broken.
It's kind of like being a little bit pregnant, I guess.
I mean, I'm doing fine.
Before she was letting pain be her guide because we thought it was sprained.
Right. But I'm doing fine. It's just, I don't know what comes ahead. We'll see. Take it a day at a time. That's pretty much what we're doing. Vermont is tough for us, and it's largely the weather.
Yeah, I mean, if it been a normal July, it wouldn't have been as bad. Actually, there was a significant improvement in the trails today over yesterday and every other day.
And maybe tomorrow will be even better because he doesn't think it's going to rain at all today. I can't believe it's actually going to happen.
I looked at the forecast on AccuWeather, and it shows no rain until Friday night at 7 p.m. I know.
And we actually, I hung my shirt up when we got back here, and it's not completely dry, but it's the driest anything has been hanging up inside the tent in weeks. It's amazing what just a little break in the weather will do.
Did you mention how many hours we slept last night?
No, I slept 11 hours. I did.
Crazy.
I fell asleep at like 6:20 and woke up at 8:30 and brushed my teeth and then just went right back to sleep and didn't wake up until he made me get out of bed at like 5:30.
I tell you, you go in town for a narrow day or a 0 day, and you think you're going to get all this rest and sleep and stuff. And
you don't.
You don't. I think last night we got better rest than we've gotten in quite a while. Because when we were at Rachel's, we were visiting with her and her husband in the evenings, and so we didn't get to bed early, and we still get up at the same time. But there's hope.
Yeah.
The trails were better today. Rumor has it from some Sobos. We ran to our first 3 today, obviously.
Right.
That on the other side of Killington, there's a little less mud. So
we both got broken parts. My new shoes are working out really well, but because I can't actually tie my own shoes, which sort of stinks. Yeah, and they were getting a little loose around the top where the mids are, and I hated to ask him to retie them, so I hiked with them too loose for longer than I should have. So
dummy.
My right ankle's barking a little bit from that, but otherwise the shoes, they've had a baptism of fire with the rain yesterday and the mud.
Well, she went to a new shoe, and I went to the old shoe that we started in the MTNs from Topo, and man, they're just so nice on the feet. My feet are so happy.
Yeah, I wish I could wear them, but I just felt like I needed more support up here.
The pros we got for the heavier duty shoe, we got those for the rocks in Pennsylvania, just in the nick of time. Destroyed those shoes in 500 miles. Mine were falling apart. Hers were still not that bad.
No, they really weren't, but I think they were breaking down on the inside,
The soles were coming apart on the bottom.
If
rock plate was broke.
If we get back down in the south and I feel like I can go back to a more like the MTNs, I will. But for now, I think I need more support up here because of all the dancing around. And it's been, we both got some, aches and pains. It's just hard when you do it every day and you're dancing around trying not to, go into the mud up to your knees.
I always have a lot of problems with my right hip back down south in the Shennies and Maryland and stuff in West Virginia. But it got better, and I was like, cool, it's a whole lot better. And now it's back really screaming again. I'm having to take Tylenol a couple times a day to keep it at bay.
Do this before you're old. It's so much easier.
Yeah.
We were sitting there watching.
Or get a bunch of new parts before you come out.
Well, we were watching this sweet little girl who's doing the long trail fix her breakfast like in a deep squat over a log, and I just looked and said, I can't do that anymore.
She's folded up like a paperclip over there making breakfast on a log. I'm like,
I was so jealous.
what decade could I ever do that?
I could. Not that long ago. It's horrifying.
I could never have done that. Ever.
But this is getting long, so we're going to say goodnight, and hopefully tomorrow will be another sunny day.
Yeah, today we needed it. It was getting
It was getting dark.
yes, it was very, very dark. Look, guys, this is hard out here. I'm not gonna lie, especially when you're in this mud for
And you have one hand.
a long time.
One hand.
I don't even know what to say about her with the one hand.
I got
It's
nothing.
incredible. I go back and forth with just making her quit and taking her home before she does permanent damage to her arm. I don't know, just because it's like a hunting dog. They're bred to hunt. The only way they don't want to go is if you lock them in the house. So I'm gonna have to lock her up.
I'm doing fine. Now you got everybody terrified. I do fine.
I just worry you'll
Yeah.
fall because you don't have your other.
Well, I fall anyway, but I mean, as long as I don't fall on my hand, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, this is getting too
Yeah,
long and
all
it's
right.
getting morose. Say goodnight.
Morose. Night, kids.